if you look at Victoria and New South Wales, Victoria typically has a net population growth of around 115 to 120,000 per annum. Sydney's around about 100 to 105. Of that, typically about 75% of that is migration. So obviously that's come to a very rapid stall where that will come from. We're expecting to see that obviously change from 2023 onwards. But what we're also seeing is a lack of stock being delivered in the marketplace because people are unable to get pre-sales. So it just comes down to the thematic of supply and demand. And what you will see is an absolute undersupply of stock in years 2024 and 2025 and 2026, where these developers are unable to get the pre-sales. People want to buy finished products. So yes, there has been some drop and softening in pricing in the Melbourne CBD, not so the Sydney CBD. But what you've also seen, if you look at the real rapid rise in Melbourne and in Sydney at the moment for a house. Now, this is an old rule of thumb. If a house was worth 100 cents, a unit should be worth 60 cents in the dollar.
Okay.
For that difference in value.
That's an old real estate's rule of thumb there.
It is. And what you've seen, that divergence, that gap, got much narrower than that because our unit values, because there's a lack of supply, there was a real pricing push. So they couldn't get the divergence narrowed. And now we're seeing with the house prices rapidly explode in value, you're starting to see that divergence take place again between the cost of units and the cost of houses. So what will happen is, for the great Australian dream for a young person coming through, Nick, your kids, my kids, one day to try and buy a property, they're now being educated. What you're going to be buying is a unit because that's your affordability piece. And so with the lack of supply, that will start to put pressure on pricing. We're very bullish on the residential market in Sydney and in Melbourne. But there is an equilibrium happening at the moment, and there is some people that who bought off the plan 3 and 4 years ago. The height of the market in 2017. There's a bit of pain for some of those people, but we do know, if you look at COVID, what we've learned globally is Australia is the best destination to be in. And you look at the amount of expats that are trying to get back into the country at the moment. We'll start to see bonds being put back in place for skilled migration. There'll be visas put back in place, and they will all be looking for somewhere to rent and for somewhere to buy. And the skilled migration will be people looking to buy. I'm very bullish on the market. There is an equilibrium. There is a shakeout happening, but that just is supply and demand, and that supply will be absorbed, and then the demand will take off considerably.